calm ocean waves. There is a lot to know about these waves. There is a hole in the bottom of the sea, and in that hole there is a log. There's a bump on that log, and then there is a frog on that bump. There is a fly on that place, and then there is a hair on the fly. The fly has wings, and that is where the story ends. That might be a really, really sad story or pretty crazy in your opinion. But today, we will be exploring what we know today as the seas. Dark, 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 dark. Ocean. Boom. Hi guys, and welcome to a new episode on this channel. Today we will be talking about seashores. So why don't we get started? Now, what are the seas? Now, first of all, let's learn the differences between a sea and an ocean. Now, first of all, seas. Actually, let's go into the notes for this one. Okay, back in the notes, seas are smaller than oceans. So their sizes are the differences first. Oceans. I don't have enough space here. And usually there are loads and loads more seas. There are 57 seas in the world. And just, if I remember, there are 5 oceans in the world. So yeah. Now there are 57 seas in the world and 5 oceans in the world. And that's basically the differences. And if you want to see the largest seas, like some of the largest, most common seas on like a map, it would be like the islands of Japan, here's Australia, the islands in the Bermuda Triangle. Yeah. Like now here are some of the seas in the world. It is, let me highlight it with yellow, this one. The Caribbean Sea, Mediterranean. This dot right here is, actually I didn't get it quite right, the Black Sea. There are some seas right here. And now let's see the oceans. Now in the oceans, I'll go with another color for this one, okay? Now for the oceans, they are right here, literally. So they're literally larger than the seas. And the seas are actually part of the oceans in some technical terms, that is. Let's use this one better. Now these seas in these worlds are actually pretty cool in some ways. These seas, there are lots and lots of seas. Here's the Indian Sea, the Atlantic Sea, the Atlantic Ocean. Here's the Indian Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean. Now, don't get confused as how I just did. I was just about to trick you, okay? Pacific Ocean. Here's the Arctic Ocean. Here's the Antarctic Ocean. And now, let's see the seas of this world. Alright, so the seas of these worlds are like these places here. Now here's the Caribbean Sea. Here's the Mediterranean. Ow. This little dot over here, I'll erase just a tiny bit of it. This actually much smaller than this. Just this much dot. Actually, that dot over here. This dot that I just formed right over here. Let me change the colors to show you. Is the Black Sea. It might not be one of the top 10 biggest seas in the world. Actually, let me go for the larger one this time. But it is still useful in some ways. There are lots and lots of seas in the world. And now let's get back to the pictures. Alright, so I couldn't find a larger picture that is more useful than this. So, sorry guys. Hope you don't mind. Okay, so let's get started. So in this case, I'll zoom in just for you guys. So first of all, we'll talk about the layers of the ocean. Let me use pink on this one since this is blue already. Now, the first layer is the sunlight zone. Why the sunlight zone? Is because that it is the most sunlight in any other layers, and it's usually from 0 meters to 200 meters. And now on to the next one is the twilight zone. Twilight zone is kind of twilight when it's talking about, you know, like sunlight. And then the next one, the twilight zone is usually 1,000 meters down. And then the midnight zone is actually very, very big, and it's to 4,000 meters down. And then the next one is in the abyssal zone. Now here's the side note: from the midnight zone, you won't be able to see anything. So if you're in a submarine inside the midnight zone, you'll need some light to show you. You need light to show you. All right, back to pink. Now back in here is the abyssal zone. Its floor is actually used to the 8,000 meters, and the animals here actually live on these grounds. And then we can get even deeper into the trenches, called the Hadal zone, because, well, Hadal, you know, Hades is actually the Greek god of the underworld. So I guess you know why it's Hadal zone now, since it's underground, under the seashore. And it's literally, if you try to go into a submarine inside here, it will literally break instantly. Or unless it's magic, that is. Now here is the Hadal zone. A lot of the animals actually live on the edges of these places. And also, it's called the trenches because it looks like a trench. Zoom back out. And now, here are all the different types of animals in the ocean. Now, I can't get into every one of them since that will take us like more than 10 minutes, which is not my max here. So let's get started. So there are loads and loads of starfishes. Like these, and a lot more. Now, this might be a starfish, but it is an enemy to the starfish. It pretends to be a friendly person. And there are some jellyfish, such as this guy over here. And there are even loads and loads of other starfishes. Actually, this is another starfish. And also, there's loads and loads more animals in starfish, as you might know. There are some kind of centipedes, some crabs, sea urchins, if you know where to look for them. Some different types of fish, some sea sponges, and yeah, a lot more. And now here is the world map. Now let's look at the seas of the world. Some of the most common of them are the Mediterranean, the Black Sea, Caribbean Sea, and that's pretty much common. And then here's another sea right here. It starts with a B. I don't really remember what it's called, but yeah, let's just go on onto the oceans. Now, let's talk about the oceans. The oceans of the world, there are 5 oceans in the world. There is in the Atlantic, there's the Pacific. Usually on world maps, we usually show the Pacific on the 2 sides. Here's the Pacific and also the side of this. Here's the Indian Ocean. On the top of the world, there's the Arctic Ocean, and at the bottom of the world, we have the Antarctic Ocean. So in total, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 oceans in the world. Yes, and that's literally all the seas and oceans that we can go through today. Now, some of these are actually there are some dangerous places in these seas and oceans. One of the most dangerous is the Bermuda Triangle. This is the area where it's the most dangerous here. Now, this Bermuda Triangle, actually it's way much more smaller than that, is actually where Amelia Earhart's plane was lost. Some ships, first aircraft to disappear from inside the Bermuda Triangle were actually some test pilots and some army people who were just going for training and then accidentally stumbled across the Bermuda Triangle and fell to their death. Some people actually rumor that this Bermuda Triangle is actually where we will find the lost city of Atlantis. the lost city of Atlantis, somewhere around here. And these dots are actually all the possible locations for the Atlantis, the lost city of Atlantis, if it does exist, possibly can be. Literally all around the Bermuda Triangle. Now, here's why it's saying that this Bermuda Triangle is with the lost city of Atlantis. It's because that the lost city of Atlantis has been said to have some special crystals that can defect navigational devices into very low quality. And a lot of people actually were lost over this Bermuda Triangle because of that reason. So I guess that is a reason of why calling it the lost city of Atlantis place. And that's basically it. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. If you want to research more about it, please just check out other channels or just on the YouTube internet. And I'll see you at the next episode. Shinhan out. Peace! Subscribe! Click the bell button to get all my videos. And like this episode. Bye-bye.